Now, remember how we talked about administrators wearing many hats? It's not one size fits all, not even when we discuss management styles. There are times when we need to adapt and use other styles. It's going to depend on the situation and on the person. Know when to use which style and make the changes as necessary. Let's consider again just how we see ourselves. Reflect and answer the questions on this and the following slides about yourself. Be honest with yourself, no one's looking. When you enter a room of staff members, does the conversation continue? Are they comfortable enough to keep talking? Are staff meetings chaired by you lively and honest? Is staff turnover, especially for key people in your center, very low? Do staff members regularly come to you for advice? Do staff members freely voice conflicting opinions on center issues? When a decision is made, do staff members faithfully carry it out? And although gossip seldom reaches you, do you always hear about center problems before they become a crisis? When you delegate a task to a staff member, do you stop worrying about it? Do staff members freely give you feedback on your performance? When you encounter staff members unexpectedly outside the center, do they appear to be genuinely pleased to see you? As you reflect on your answers to all of these questions, think about which of those leadership styles you might be, and reflect on whether it is what you actually are or what you'd want to be. Remember, different situations may require a different approach. You may use a different approach to handle different situations, or you may handle the same situation differently at different times. It's the overall style that really counts. Your staff will respect you for handling situations appropriately. Think back on the earlier online assessment that you did and consider the results. Use it to identify your strengths and weaknesses. Remember that your style is not a fixed behavior, but should be adapted as needed. By looking at specific situations and adjusting the manner in which you handle them, you can begin to adjust your overall leadership style. So as we consider the discussion about change and adapting, a reminder of the words of Will Rogers, who said, "Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there." And if we think about being stuck, an unknown quote reminds us that if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. But if you continually work at it, there is an Indian proverb that states that if you remove stone after stone, eventually even a mountain will be leveled. Change is a process, not an event. We change as we need to, we adapt as we need to. In our work with children, we know that what works well with one child or in one situation may not work with another child or in another situation. And it's the same with working with staff. All change isn't necessarily good. If it's working, keep at it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And remember that change has a ripple effect. It will affect all in different ways, and a good leader should be aware of this. Some people handle change better than others. It will affect the horizon in some manner. There is a difference between being a manager and being a leader. Management involves specific concrete tasks such as planning work, coordinating schedules, supervising people, and assessing objectives. Leadership involves broad, abstract tasks such as building norms of ongoing continuous improvement, creating partnerships and collaborations that allow for shared decision making, developing systems and using systems thinking. Let's differentiate the two. So here's scenario one. The licensing consultant is due sometime within 6 weeks. What do you need to do? Lead or manage? You manage. There are concrete tasks to be done as you prepare for that visit. There's paperwork to be organized, and there are assessments to be done. Scenario 2. Many staff members are on edge because of rumors about why someone was fired. Do you lead or do you manage? You lead. This involves people and their feelings. You must consider the most appropriate way of dealing with this situation and handling staff. Remember this, you manage situations, you lead people. Are both required? Of course. There are two questions to ask yourself that will help. What is best for the business, and what is best for this person or these people? When you ask these questions in the correct order, there is a fighting chance to make a wise decision. Sometimes the answers are hard to swallow, but managers get paid to make the tough decisions. Ross Perot stated that inventories can be managed, but people must be led. Consider this NASCAR scenario. Car owners are on the lookout for the best possible driver that they can get. They want a driver that can think quickly, that can react with impeccable timing, and that have incredible skill. But you can't just put the driver in the car and expect success. It starts with the car. From building the car, using the right high-tech tools to build the car, examining the car from stem to stern, looking for any imperfection or inefficiency, anything that will slow the car down, looking for drag, which is the enemy of speed. And then there is the pit crew with the same focus. Keep the car full of gas. Tighten and loosen, examine and perfect. Keep the car in perfect running order. Then the driver has what he needs to get the job done. That is managing the situation and sets the ability to be able to lead the driver. Keeping the differences in mind between leading and managing, let's discuss how to handle change within your program and when to lead and when to manage. There might be a technical change within the program, and this will mean that there are changing systems or methods, the way you do something. Examples are a new curriculum, there's new forms to fill out, new methods of reporting. This is when you manage. If there is an adaptive change, new people, new ownership, new children, a new classroom, this is when you lead. I think we are getting the differences now, aren't we? This concludes part 4 of the presentation. The assignment that goes with this part of the presentation relates completely to what we've just talked about and requires you to apply that learning. Complete the assignment and then continue on to the 5th and final part of the presentation.